It's Wednesday, January 12th, 2022, and today on The Educators. It's our first show of the new year, and we got a lot of catching up to do. We're all diving into the stories everyone's talking about, including shortage of teachers. There's a massive teacher shortage this school year and not enough positions to fill. It's one of the hottest trending topics, and you don't want to miss what we have to say about it. Plus, could therapy prevent school shootings? A 15-year-old faced murder and terrorism charges after being accused of opening fire at a Michigan high school, killing 4 people and wounding 7 more. Selena Gomez gets real about mental health and reveals in an Instagram video about how she maintained her mental health. Then, schools are coping with teacher burnout by implementing no class on Fridays. The Educators with Coach Darnell Jerome, Shelby Vaughn, Andrew Frey, and me, Damian Anderson. The Educators starts now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Educators. We are back with new episodes, you guys, into the new year. So some things are a little different here on today, you guys. As you can tell, Coach D, he is not with us. He is dealing with some family issues, so he'll be back with us soon, you guys. And also, Miss Shelby is no longer with us, but we wish her many success in her life. So it's today, you guys. It's just the originals, me and Andrew from the beginning. So happy New Year to all of you guys. We haven't, touch base. We've been gone for a very, very long time, you guys, but we're so excited to be back with you guys. So Andrew, he knows what's up. I always say this. How are you doing on today? I know it's a little different on today, but how are you doing? What's been going on with you since we haven't been on the show together?
It's been it's been a year. First and foremost, glad to be back in the I was about to say in the house. Even though tomorrow's Sunday. But yes, glad to be back in the show sheet today. I'm trying to remember what we happened last season or last year, because a lot has happened.
Of course.
Especially with myself as well. A lot has happened as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yes, you guys. A lot has happened since we've been away, and we're gonna dive into all the topics that's happening into the world as of right now. So first up, you guys, we have schools. This is the biggest topic right now, you guys. Schools around the country, they are struggling to hire substitute teachers. They're amid a worker shortage and underpaid teaching position. Now, it's a problem that existed even before the pandemic has started, you guys. And now there's a substitute teacher shortage, making matters worse. Now, I found out that in a recent study, 77% of district leaders and principals nationwide said they are struggling to hire enough subs this past year and also this year. So my question to Andrew, since both of us, we are substitute teachers, why is there, especially this year, a massive teacher shortage in America? Why are we losing so many of our teachers? Why are there not positions for no one to step into these positions? What's your take on all of this?
See, I was about to ask you that same question, because you're also a substitute teacher as well. So I was about to ask you that same question. So me being, I'm actually technically, if you want to be technical terms, I'm technically a building sub. So what that means is a building sub is whatever school that I work for, that is the school that I work for. Like I'm part of the faculty and staff.
Yeah.
With that position, I substitute for whoever I substitute a teacher that is out for that day. I could cover up to probably the whole day. I could be probably cover for like one teacher and then have to cover for another teacher. But at the end of the day, I'm there until whenever students is out versus a substitute teacher where you get to leave whenever your last class is. So like, let's say you're covering for a teacher, subbing for a teacher, and they only have like 3 classes, and their last class is their planning period. You can basically go home, basically. Yeah. But going back to the question that you asked me, which is kind of funny. I think because of low pay.
Yes.
Because of vaccine. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there are a lot of jobs out there now that are saying that are a requirement to get a vaccine.
Absolutely.
But one of the biggest issues that I've seen in my state right now is the mask issue. And the reason why I say that it's a big issue is because there are some counties or aka school districts that has masks that are optional.
Okay.
And there are some that are, mask is required. Yeah. And of course, you got some parents out there that are disagreeing, saying suffocate and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same thing, Yeah. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to, it's not going to hurt you.
Right.
Okay. So my question to you, Damien, since you are a substitute teacher, what do you think of this issue, sir? Because again, you're a substitute teacher. So, I mean, we're both in the same boat, basically.
Yeah.
So I want to hear from your point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been keeping up with the news with this. And what you said earlier about, like one reason is, yes, we are underpaid. We are underpaid. Teachers are underpaid. Is that is, I say this a lot on the show, it's a problem. And then you have, what you said, the vaccines as well. You have some teachers who are for the vaccine, then you have others who are against it. They want to take it, they do not want to take it. It's a big issue. Masks, of course. And then you also have, they are also doing into the teacher's position, they are putting parents, and also what I have seen on the news, they're putting parents and bus drivers becoming substitute teachers because there is not a lot of people who want to do this. There's just not. And so the upcoming school, what is it going to look like this upcoming school year later on into the fall when all of our teachers are gone because they don't want to do this no more? What are we going to do for our students? What are we going to do? It's a problem. It's a problem, and it's an issue that needs, and I'm gonna just say it, the White House
Now,
Go ahead.
I haven't heard bus drivers become substitute teachers. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I've seen it a
I
couple
haven't
of
heard
days.
of that part, but it is true that I mean, especially at the school that I'm working now, because there is not a whole lot of subs as of today. As of right now, there are 3 subs right now.
Wow.
Which is me, another there's a long term sub, and then there's another substitute. So basically there's three subs right now. And whenever a teacher that is out, of course all of us has our stuff to do,
Yeah.
all of us has a teacher to cover. But if it's just like I would say more than 2 teachers that are out, most than likely those other teachers have to cut into their planning to cover for that teacher. I mean, that's what happened to a lot of teachers on Friday. Especially this past, I forgot what today is. Especially what happened to this past week.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not past week. I'm sorry. Well, yes, the past week. I forgot this episode comes out on Wednesday. I'm sorry. Comes out today. So anyway, that's what happened. Yeah, this past week. A whole lot of teachers was out last Monday and Tuesday because, of course, holidays, Christmas, of course. But again, a whole lot of teachers was out last week, and teachers have to cut in their planning time to cover for those teachers. So, I mean, it is a big deal. It is. I mean, I kind of talked about this on the season 3 finale of Let's Fret About Education. How I hear a whole lot of people saying substitute teaching is basically babysitting. Basically, because the teachers leave you a sub plans for you to follow, and you have to make sure that the students are doing their work. And if not, you can write them up, basically, or leave a note. I mean, it's basically babysitting. And subs are not getting paid enough.
It's
really. I mean, now we got to pay. Well, I'm on a salary, but substitute teachers got a raise over the holidays because, of course, a lot of people was complaining. Oh, it's low. We have bills to pay. A whole lot of us has a whole lot of bills to pay, and the money that we was making prior to that raise wasn't enough. I mean, it really wasn't enough. And so you see why a whole lot of teachers out there are striking. You see a whole lot of people. I think just last year, you see bus drivers went on strike for about 2 to 3 days because they were not getting paid enough. You see teachers went on strike for about 2 or 3 days because they're not getting paid enough. You see cafeteria workers not getting paid. So they went on strike for 2 to 3 days. I mean,
like I said earlier, it's a problem. It is a problem that, and I can see this going into the into the fall, into the school year, if this problem is not fixed. And I'm gonna just call out the Biden administrators. Y'all guys need to step it up for our schools. So we're going to have to take a break, but we will be right back with more topics on The Educator. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Educators, you guys. So let's hop right back into some more topics, shall we? So let's talk about school closings from teacher burnout. So some schools are trying to cope with staff burnout and learning challenges that resulted from the COVID-19 crisis by implementing, get this, no class on Fridays and removing D's and F's from the grade system. So, Andrew, I want to know this from you. Can these moves really help get rid of D's and F's for our teachers? What do you think?
To be truth be told, I really, truth be told, I really don't know how to answer that question. Um, because and the reason why I don't know how to answer this question is because we had a day off, but it was more of, this was like back of November. We did had a day off, but it was more like a remote working. Like it was optional. So I wouldn't say, hey, I wouldn't say a teacher closeout, or, not teacher closeout, a teacher burnout, but November 12th, I can tell you this. It was a remote teacher work day. Basically, it was an optional remote teacher work day. To look back during COVID to regenerate, refocus, something in that nature. But I wouldn't call it a teacher burnout. I wouldn't call it that.
Okay. And yeah, it says Candy's moves really help get rid of D's and F's for our teachers with no class on Fridays. I mean, with me, I would say yeah. So you can give the teachers, because they brought up this topic on The View when I was hearing all the ladies talk about this. And I think it would be a good idea, for no class on Fridays for teachers so they can, plan more and get, the things ready for the students and, get their lesson plans. And then I say, yeah, this would be good in removing the D's and F's from the grade system. I mean, no students don't like to get, really don't care with D's and F's in schools. So I don't know about that, removing that from the grade system. What, you're about to say something?
I was looking about something. I don't know what it was. It kind of lost my train of thought.
Oh, you're fine. I'm fine. But yeah, I don't know about removing that from the grade system. But yeah, I give teachers off on Fridays. Have Monday through Thursday where they teach. Fridays is their off day to where they can really plan out. That's what me. Okay. So, teachers, if you're watching this, we would like to hear from you. Andrew, anything else?
So here's my question. Would it be like a required? Go ahead and say this. Would it be like a required teacher work day? Or is it optional?
It could be optional. It could be optional.
Because, if you're going to say, hey, it's required, most of them is not going to show up. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now. Most of them is not going to show up.
Yeah.
If it's a required.
Yeah. So, yeah, they can do optional. They can do optional for the teachers on Fridays. So, yep. All right. You guys, we're going to take another break. and we'll be right back with more topics. So don't go anywhere. You're watching The Educators. Welcome back to The Educators. So let's hop right back into some more topics. Now, what do you guys think about navigating your mental health when you don't have the option to give up? So you have most people, they don't have the option to quit the job that gives them anxiety or walk away from the relationship or friendship that leaves them feeling, deeply emotional they can't get away from. So now Selena Gomez opened up in an Instagram video about how she maintained her mental health. And in the clip, she responds to the question, how do you take care of your mind? She goes on to say, what helps me first and foremost is just picking up the phone and calling someone. So, Andrew, what motivates you to get out of bed on those hard days when your mental health actually needs a boost?
I really do not know, to be honest with you, because I there are some days where I just want to stay in the bed and not go to work at all because of new kids. But at the end of the day, because next year, if I don't show up, they'll ask where Mr. Fred is at. So, that is my reason. That is my why. Okay, it's become them kids, them students. They maybe get on my nerves sometimes, but at the end of the day, like let's say, for instance, for my birthday, actually my birthday week, I myself decided to take a 2-day vacation to celebrate my birthday. Okay. When I tell you, when I came back the next day, which was actually on my birthday, when I came back, all I hear is, where were you at yesterday? Where were you at for the past 2 days? So you're telling me that I cannot leave the school building to celebrate my birthday week without y'all? Is that what you're saying? Because sometimes I need a break.
Yeah.
I need a break. And you want to tell me, where were you at yesterday? And the fact of the matter is that I told them a week before. I told them a week before.
Oh, wow.
A few days before. And I told them that Friday.
Wow.
I told them 4 times. And they're going to hit me with, where were you at yesterday?
The message.
Listen, but at the end of the day, I have to get this money.
Yeah.
That's my reason. Money and kids. Okay. Money is because so that I can pay these bills. Okay. And trying to advance in my life. That's my motivation.
Right.
I don't know about you, Damien, but
with me, and this is what I am trying to do this year, you guys, 2022. Is because yes, I'm those type of people, when I hear my alarm, I turn it off, and then guess what? Do I get out of bed? No, no, I just stay in. But that is like one of my goals for this year is to when I hear it is to get off because I immediately on some days when I turn off my alarm, we have that instant of um getting onto our phones, which is a habit of all of ours. And we all people, we what? That's everybody. That's with everybody. That is our problem. That is all of us. Yes, it is, Andrew. Yes, it is.
No,
Yes,
it's
it is.
not. I don't know.
Because
I don't know who.
because
I don't know who. I
because
don't know. I
when
do
you hear
not
that
know
phone,
who
you
you
turn off the
talking
alarm and
about.
then immediately you go and check your social media. You go
I
immediately
see.
and you know that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You know that.
See, I'm
You
different.
know that. You
I'm
know
different.
that.
I'm different. Okay. I listen. I will tell you this. I will sense the snooze button like 3 to 4 times, and then I'll get up, and then I'll get in the shower, get the stuff that I need to do. And I may actually no, because once I arrive at my job, I go in.
Hmm.
I check my emails to make sure everything is not my personal email, but my work email to make
Yeah.
sure everything's up to speed. To make sure I have see look at my day book trying to show. Making sure everything is so that I need to know.
Hmm.
But checking social media in the beginning of the morning,
A lot of us do that. A lot
I
of
watch
us
the
do
news.
that.
I watch the
Man.
news a little bit for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's it.
All right. All right. But anyways, what I'm trying to do, what motivates me is to get up. I start, with a saying, a good positive affirmation that always, gets me going into the morning. Then I do my morning prayer. I journal. This year I'm starting to journal, you guys. Like, what happens each day. That I had a good day. That I had a bad day. This and that, and I'm journaling everything out for 2022. So that's my goal, you guys. That's what motivates me, my mental health for this year. So we're going to take, if I can speak, I'm going a little too fast. We're going to take a break. And we'll be right back with more of The Educator. So don't go anywhere, you guys.
Welcome back, everybody, to the educators. Yes, educators. Uh, with us two. Just for today, just us two. So this last topic. So of course, last year we have seen it all over the news. We have seen it all. School shootings, school shootings. Uh, but I have not done that much research on this, but studies show that therapy can prevent school shootings. Huh. I want to hear Damien's thought of this. Can therapy, actually talking to a therapist, prevent school shootings? If so, how can it be prevented?
I am absolutely on board with this. Yes, I think therapy can help our students, you know, prevent this from happening because I believe if you can go to a trusted adult, even your counselor or whoever it is, and talk it out, talk whatever is going on with you, then I think there will be less school shootings. That's what for me. I think therapy, if we can have that into our schools, absolutely, absolutely. And let it be mandatory. How about that? Let it be mandatory for our students because we're sick of this, you guys. We're sick of hearing stories like this of a student breaking a gun, or it may not be a student, maybe a totally different person. Not it's not, doesn't have to be our students, but I'm sick and tired of hearing stories like this that our students they can't feel safe into our schools. They can't. So to answer your question, Andrew, yes, therapy should be mandatory into our schools for our students so we can have less school shootings. I'm on board with it. I'm on board with it. 100%.
Now, since you are on board with that,
Yeah.
do you think it should be like an everyday thing, or should it be like every weekly or every month? So, like, how often should a therapist come into the school and talk to some of the students um, that are struggling in mental health?
I say weekly. Be on a weekly basis every week. Um, because especially when you get up into the middle school grade levels, that's where our students they are learning more about themselves, and they are changing constantly every day. So I say yes, let it be weekly because our students they are growing every single day as as our teachers come in contact with them because they are getting to know them on a personal level inside their classroom when they come to school every single day, Monday through Friday. So weekly
Mhm.
sessions will be great for our students. Now probably teachers who are watching this, parents, counselors, probably disagree. Probably weekly, you guys probably want to do monthly, and I get that. It would be weekly or monthly. It would be weekly or monthly. I will not just only do it just for one time throughout the school year. That is not enough time on doing it one time throughout the school year. No, weekly or monthly, so we can know what our students, what's happening with them. Or are they thinking suicidal thoughts? Are they thinking about this and that? So I say weekly, Andrew. What about you? Or are you on board with this of therapy into our schools?
Um, I'm for having a therapist in the school. However,
Yeah.
I think it should be. I want to say every 2 weeks because, and here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. Here's why I'm saying that is because. Hmm, Here's why I'm saying that. I'm sorry, I just read something that I saw something right now. So great. All right. So I'm for, but I wouldn't say every day. I want to say every 2 weeks. And the reason why I say every 2 weeks is because of the student's behavior. They're unpredictable. One
Mm-hmm.
minute they're all happy, smiling, having a great day, and then next week is
Like what happened with
like a
them?
like a rainy day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's their moods are all over the place,
Exactly.
stuff like that. So that's why I'm saying every other day. Now, I do know there's a school psychologist inside the building as well as a social work. Excuse me, a social worker as well. I think those four people, if I can count right, those four people would be a powerhouse to the student services because they can figure out what's going on. How can they how can I make this child's mood behavior? So that's my thought. I'm sorry. I'm
You
looking
on
at
Joe?
different
You,
subbing jobs right now. Speaking
you
of
are,
subbing, and which is kind of funny because we just talked about covering, and looks like I might have to cover for a teacher on Monday.
mm,
Do I have to cover
mm.
for somebody on Monday? All right. While I'm looking for
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
I'm gonna just turn
Yeah,
things over to
yeah,
Damien while I'm
yeah.
still searching.
Yes, and while he's doing that, you guys, we're going to take a break, but we'll be right back with the end of our show of The Educators on today. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Love watching The Educators? You could be a part of our conversation too. The Educators is active on social media. Like us on Facebook by searching The Educators and be a part of our conversation by telling us what you think. Follow us on Instagram at The Educator Show for behind the scenes content of our show. And follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our show and the world. You keep the conversation going, so get social with your friends now. Like, comment, and connect with us on The Educators. And welcome back, you guys, to The Educators. Um, what a great show we had to. It was just you guys, just us two. The original. So, you're stuck with us for a while until Coach come back with us. But what a great return back onto the show today, Andrew. I don't want to put you on the spot here, but um, do you have do you want to do, um, sum up everything of what we talk about on today with your What Did We Learn segment?
Yes. What did we learn segment for this brand new, yes, this brand new episode
Yeah.
of the educators. We have talked a lot. When I say a lot, we have talked a lot.
Yeah.
Teacher shortage in America. Listen, we understand because we are substitute teachers as well. School districts, listen very carefully. If you won't, if you won't have teachers have their planning time, okay,
Mm-hmm.
please do, because a lot of teachers have, I'm pretty sure, a lot of your teachers has been complaining about not getting their full amount of planning. So make sure you listen to your teachers. Okay. If you wondering why there are teacher shortage in America, look at your leadership. See what you're doing wrong. See how you can improve it. Okay. Uh School closing for teacher burnout. I mean, this is like a tie into mental health. Mental health is the priority here. If you don't feel like going, just don't go. Okay. Yes, the other people may be upset at you for not going, but at the end of the day, if it's your choice. Of course, you're going to feel bad, but at the end of the day, you'll be glad of taking that break. Just make sure your students, you might want to make sure you tell your students a week prior or 4 days prior before you leave, and make sure you have an answer ready when you come back the next day. When you come back to the school, because I'm pretty sure some of you students are going to ask you, where were you at for the past 2 to 3 days?
Yeah.
So be ready to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Could therapy prevent school shootings? So, but us two, we're saying yes. Damien says
I said between weekly to monthly.
So he's saying every weekly, every month. Me, I'm saying every 2 weeks. So, but we can both agree that it could, if they can work with the school psychologists, the social worker, and the guidance counselors, those people will be the powerhouse. Those people will figure out what's wrong. Those people will try to brighten a student's day in an instant. Those are your what do we learn? So stay tuned next week for another what do we learn?
Yeah.
But that will wrap up our first season. Oh, well, not first season. First episode back. Jeez. First episode back from the educators.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Andrew, for our What Did We Learn segment. Now, if Coach was here, you guys, he will have some motivation for all of us here. And I just want to read this from him from when he sent us message. And I just want to y'all go with this for the rest of your week, which is, I stopped trying to fit in when I realized God did not even create 2 fingerprints to match. You are supposed to stand out. Stop trying to squeeze squares into your circle. Okay, so marinate on that, you guys. Let that go out through your week. Focus on that and go with that, you guys. Okay, so that's our show for today. We thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Educator. So